There we go, we're live. Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to DuePoint. Welcome to everyone who's tuned in around the country on our live stream. My name is Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint, and I'm going to be spending the next 45 minutes with you this lunchtime as I go through what our business is all about, who we are, where we come from, where we're going, and really what the opportunity is for you today. So let's begin. As you can see, we're a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company. That's their orange logo. Their buildings are down the road here in Randburg. They've been around for a very long time, since 1952, operating fairly successfully in the South African landscape in the insurance field. They've typically only dealt with other FSPs, other financial service providers, so you've probably never heard of them or seen of them, but if you have an insurance policy and you page through those T's and C's, your policy wording on the back page, you might see a logo that says Constantia, and it says underwritten by Constantia, because Constantia is a fully blown insurance business in South Africa. There's only about a dozen of them in the country. All right, so that's a little bit of background on Constantia. The FSP number that we operate under, it's fairly important. It's that one that you see over there. You'll notice we've got our Financial Services Board licenses on display on the wall outside in the foyer above the water cooler. Those are available for you on our website too. The individuals, or at least the senior staff here at DuePoint, are these people up on screen. So starting with the three boring accountants on the far left. They do an important job here. Can't be too disparaging. So they are registered chartered accountants, starting with Mr. Benfield. He's our senior executive. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance. I think thanks to his father being a professor of insurance who taught at Wits for 25 years. Dr. Brian Benfield started Clientele Life. He started the IFA along with his two sons, Brendan and Stuart. They started PMD, or Prime Meridian Direct, down the road. So we've got some wonderful financial pedigree in the Benfield. So we're lucky to have Brendan as our senior executive here. And then Tim and Stacey, they look after all the other financial requirements in our business. That's the accounting, the auditing aspects, a lot of the regulatory aspects that we have to abide by. So it's all fairly important stuff that the accountants take care of. And then myself and Jane, we're the non-accountants. So Jane is very experienced in network marketing. Or referral marketing and direct sales. She's from the UK, so she brings this very important experience to our team, because even though we're an insurance business, our growth model that we've adopted is one of network or referral marketing, and so we have to be effective in that space, and Jane brings a lot of skill to that part of our business. And then myself, I've been working in advertising pretty much my entire career. Not so much advertising, more on the branding and the design side. So I ran a digital agency for about 15 years that operated very much in the digital space, just when the internet was getting going with those noisy little modems that you had on your desk. Remember those modems? That's when I got involved in that side of the business. And then after 15 years, I exited that business. I joined the team here at DuePoint. So our mandate is staff of DuePoint. We've got our client service staff, obviously, and admin staff. But the mandate, the focus of staff here at DuePoint is to support everybody that joins us. So to support you. We want to see you effective. We want to see you profitable. We want to see you happy. Right? Because it serves our interest too as a business. We can only be profitable if the people that we depend on for growth in this market are being effective. And so everything that we do here at DuePoint is to support you in that endeavor. So that's a bit of background on the business. You're welcome to go do a background check on us. The reason why we spend a little bit of time explaining where we are, where we come from, who we are, who Constantia is to build credibility. Very often people arrive at a presentation like this with a whole bunch of ideas in their head. They might be thinking, oh, I've been invited to whatever scheme or this or that, and there might be some fear. So I'm hoping I've allayed that fear. If you need to, go do a background check on us. You're very welcome to do that. We are listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange under a group called Conduit Capital. So go do a little bit of snooping, see if you can find out any bad stuff about us. Right? Come tell me before you tell anyone else. Okay. So very quickly, just to discuss the circumstance that South Africans typically find themselves in South Africa. We won't spend too much time on the slide. It's a negative slide because if our salaries were the answer to our problems from a personal finance point of view, none of you would be here today, and our business, or at least this division of DuePoint, wouldn't exist. But unfortunately, that's not so. The economy is failing a lot of people, and it is time that we do something about it. And the people that join this business, the wealth engineers that get involved here at DuePoint, are doing exactly that. You're trying to take control over your income when you've now realized that it is too risky to depend on traditional forms of employment. And it is. And so it leads people to come look for something extra. And the opportunity that we're going to be discussing today is the opportunity to rid yourself of the risk of, like I said, traditional employment, and to be able to change your circumstance, especially from a debt point of view. Debt is crippling from a personal finance point of view. If you are in a debt cycle that you're unable to get out of, your prospects are not great, all right? It comes to a head when you get to retirement, because the majority of South Africans can't afford to retire. Can't afford to retire. They get to 60, 65, the statistics, we get statistics all the time from the FSB, paint a very dismal picture of what retirement looks like for 90% plus of South Africans, right? And they become what we call financially dependent individuals, where they become dependent on family members. They have to go out looking for jobs again. They've got to downscale their lifestyles to such a degree that they can survive on whatever they're getting. We don't want that for people in this business, right? And you've got all the time in the world. Even if you're 59, even if you are already retired, you can still change your circumstance in this business in a very short amount of time. So, out of all of that negativity, Constantia saw the opportunity to create this business called DuePoint. We launched the DuePoint system in February 2016 with aspirations of, number one, people getting rid of their debt as quickly as possible. You might be thinking, well, I wasn't even thinking about that. I just want extra money, right? But that's certainly the case. That is the opportunity at DuePoint. But going beyond that, our business is about building wealth for people. It's not about creating an extra paycheck for people. It's about creating wealth. That's the impact we want to have in this country, in the society in this country. It's about creating wealth. And wealth begins with getting rid of debt. Right? So those are one of our first aspirations. If you're creating additional income in this business, get rid of your debt as quickly as possible. Then start creating wealth. We create wealth through the ownership of assets and investments that appreciate. Then you can start to deem yourself as a wealthy person. You can imagine what it must feel like to be completely debt-free when not a single debit order goes off your account. Imagine that day, right? Call me. I'll come celebrate with you when you get to that day. And then ultimately for people in this business, just to be happier. Just to be happier. And that is a long road. It's not something that happens overnight. You can see the change in your circumstance slowly, but to actually become wealthy, to be debt-free, that is a long road. And we journey with you. We support you in that endeavor. So that's kind of what the aspirations we have for people in this business. How does this all work? Our guests this afternoon, you have the opportunity to join this business called DuePoint. You actually enter into a contract with us, and we refer to you as wealth engineers, and your single focus as a wealth engineer. So what we expect of you once you become a wealth engineer is to build a channel of distribution. And I'll show you what one looks like, but it is basically you. Your task, your daily task that you will keep yourself accountable to is just to connect other people to this business. Exactly the same way you ended up here. Today, you're going to perform that task. Tell people that there's an opportunity that exists to change their circumstance. That's all you have to do. And myself and Brendan will do the rest of the work. And if we are successful in that process, if we can get other people to see the opportunity here, join DuePoint, become product owners, that process leads to all these benefits for you when you create this channel of distribution. Number one, the primary one being you get to create that additional income, an extra paycheck at the end of every month. The nature of the income that we produce here is wonderful. It sets us apart from many other businesses, is that we create something called recurring income. You might hear other people in entrepreneurial spaces talking about the ability to create passive income. It's the same thing. It's the ability to make money while you're sleeping, right? That's exactly what you're doing. Your jobs are the opposite of that. Your boss doesn't pay you for when you're sleeping. Right? When you are at work, that's when you get to pay. But there's only 8 hours of work that you can do a day. And so you don't have any opportunity to increase your earnings, right? In this business, you do. You get to spend time and effort and invest time into this business that will pay you beyond that time. And that is the ability to create recurring or passive income. We harness the power of duplication. That's leverage. That's something that's inherent to network marketing businesses, and that's why that's why network marketing is one of the few industries globally that is still growing today, where all the others are in recession. And that's the ability to use leverage in this business. you get to go out and connect other people to this business. If you connect other people that are resourceful, that are effective in building a channel of distribution, they in turn will increase your recurring income. So now you can build a team around you. That channel becomes a team that will leverage your recurring income. So your recurring income is not based on only your efforts in the business. It now becomes based on your entire channel, and you get rewarded for that in money. Our business is flexi-time. You can do this business at any time of the day, anywhere in the country. The technology that we've implemented allows for that, right? The business allows for that. Do not make the mistake of doing this business only when you feel like it. That's a mistake a lot of people make. They think, oh, network marketing business or business like this, I'll just put in a couple of people and then everything will happen on its own. Not so. There's an entrepreneurial business, and like any other entrepreneurial opportunity, you have to put time and effort in for a long time, right? If you want any sustainable wealth being built in your life. There's no startup capital, so we've designed this business to be as low risk as possible. We don't have starter fees, we don't have registration fees, we don't have starter kits that you have to buy, you don't have to buy product up front to get started in this business. We've designed it specifically to be low cost so that it becomes more accessible to the everyday South African. At the same time, there's no qualifications or experience required in our business. You get to build an asset. Now, this is very important because it should say you get to build an asset that you own. You have ownership over this channel of distribution that you're building. And so what does that mean? That means you can sell it, right? Like any other asset. It means you can sell it if you want to. And we've had wealth engineers selling their channels of distribution for whatever reason. It also means that because you own this asset, we can't retire you from your asset. When you get to 60, 65 in your day job, your boss is going to send you on your way. Say, oh, your value now is shrunk up here in the business. You must move along, right? Which is ridiculous. In this business, you will carry on earning a recurring income into your 60s, into your 70s, into your 80s, into your 90s. When do you plan on dying? Thought about that yet? I work in insurance. We think about that all the time, right? When do you plan on dying? This business, because it's an asset, will carry on paying beyond your death. Because what happens to assets when you die? They don't disappear. As debt doesn't disappear either, it gets passed on to your beneficiaries. Would you like to pass wealth onto your children when you die? Or are we going to pass debt onto our children when we die? Right? Majority of South Africans pass debt onto the next generation. It's called generational debt. It's a thing, right? You get to pass your channel of distribution that's creating recurring income onto the next generation. The nature of our business requires no selling at all, so you don't have to sell. You're not going to go out on the weekend trying to convince people to buy insurance or investment products. What you're going to be doing is connecting people to the business opportunity. If I go up to a group of people and I say, are you interested in earning more money? Or I go up to another group of people and say, do you want to buy an insurance product? Who do you think is going to come sit for an hour presentation? The people that are interested in the business opportunity, right? And there's so much value in that. At the same time, because we have financial products at DuePoint, we don't have stock and distribution issues. You don't have to bring a bakkie today to load up to take product home with you this weekend, right? Our products and the collection of those products and the distribution of those products are taken care of by our IT systems in the cloud. You will never even know that it's happening. And we never run out of products here at DuePoint. Dr. Brian Benfield, he used to have a joke that he used to say, as an insurance joke. In the old days when he was an insurance salesman knocking from door to door, just to get a little more motivation in the people that he was trying to sell to, he would tell them, he'd pick his briefcase up and he'll tell them, this is my last insurance policy that I have in my briefcase. Right? We don't have that problem in this business. Everything is IT based now, right? So those are the benefits that you get to enjoy in this business. But how do you build a channel of distribution so that you can get all of these benefits? It begins with you. You become a wealth engineer today, and as a brand new wealth engineer and a product owner of DuePoint, you will now go out and be faced with the task of connecting other people to DuePoint. And you'll go speak to friends, family, acquaintances, colleagues, strangers, right? And if you are successful in connecting a few people to this business, and in this example, there's 5 people that have joined your first point off of your efforts, this is where the power of duplication now starts to take place. Because if you bring in resourceful people, right? People that you think will thrive as DuePoint wealth engineers, not desperate people. People with the resources to thrive as wealth engineers, they will go out and build your channel with you. And that is where the leverage comes into place. That is one of the most powerful benefits of this business, because this is what your channel will look like after a certain amount of time. And we can go through thousands of wealth engineers that have even quit the business and look at their channels that are still growing today. They're still growing. They didn't stop. People have left. We've got a famous lady. She came in for 4 months. She did work. She started earning money. She left. Her business is sitting at over 7,000 people in her business, and she's not even aware of it. She walked away from it. Right? My tip to you, my hint to you now, my warning to you is that make sure that when you bring people into this business, you're finding people at your peer level, people you can relate to, people you can depend on, people that you will know can do this business. Do not make the mistake of being desperate and just letting anyone join your business, because that behavior filters into your entire channel. And if you bring weak, desperate people in, right, in the beginning, and that filters into your channel, this channel will collapse every other month. It'll collapse, right? You don't want people saying to you, give me a lift, send me airtime, show me how to set up an email address, show me how to use internet. They don't have smartphones. How am I going to get... That is a burden to your business, right? Build a business smartly. Be discerning when you go connect the people that you want in your business. You're building your board of executives. Not just anything. It's your board of executives that you're finding, right? So this is what a channel of distribution looks like. My warning to you is stemmed off of this statement. We are not a get-rich-quick scheme. So there's 2 lessons that stem from that. Number 1 is that get-rich-quick schemes, typically pyramid schemes, whatever schemes, are illegal, right? And we don't conduct any business that is illegal. We abide by all the financial regulation that we need to. We've got a lot of reputation in the market. We're nearly 70 years old. We're regulated by the Financial Services Board. That fear should be allayed already. At the same time, the second part of my point or my warning is that we don't ever profess that you can become wealthy quickly. That doesn't exist, right? Money that comes in quickly leaves quickly. Right? Go speak to anyone that's made money quickly. Comes in and out, is gone. Even lotto winners. They've had documentaries on lotto winners. You can win R1 billion. By next year, you're broke again. And money's gone. This business is about building wealth steadily. Sustainable wealth. Sustainable wealth, right? So don't make those 2 mistakes. So I hope everyone's prepared to grow slowly here at DuePoint. Everyone's like, no, I prefer to grow faster. Me too. I'd also prefer to grow faster. But it doesn't exist. just the live stream. There's more people on the live stream that are inside here?
Yeah, it is. But it was low.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how you know that. You're sitting here. See? All right. Okay, so I think the previous slide for our live stream that might have missed out on a bit of audio there, I think the previous slide was self-evident, right? Because you've got the table there. Hopefully everyone understands the mechanics of the returns. The next question that we typically get is a more practical question, and that is, well, how much, beyond just the 55 Rand for every product that I can earn, how much money can people make in this business? Where can I be in 5 years' time or in a year's time if I put effort into this business? And so we built this thing called the Path to Success. It is a projection of what you can do over the next 5 years, but it is based on an assumption, and that assumption is your growth in the business. It assumes that as a brand new wealth engineer in your first month, you can connect at least 3 people into the business in your first month, and then every consecutive month thereafter, you have to connect 2 people. So you end up having to connect 2 people every single month going forward, which is fairly doable, I think, with 1 person every 2 weeks. If you can do that, you can expect numbers that you see up on this diagram. So there you can see 2,500 Rand a month after 6 months of doing that. Right, now this is a wonderful opportunity for a lesson, right? Because 2,500 Rand at face value might not seem worth 6 months of work. Yes? I always ask the audience, imagine today was your lucky day and I put 2,500 Rand under everybody's seat. I felt like Oprah, giveaway. Right? I said, everyone look under your seat, and there was 2,500 Rand. How long would the 2,500 Rand last? 1 day? 2 hours. Where are you going later? Right? But that's my point. Because, and it's something I realized. It wasn't something, some theory that I came up with. It's something that I realized in myself. I make the mistake of looking at money and giving it consumer value, spending value. I look at 2,500 Rand and go, I can buy that with 2,500 Rand. Maybe 3 shopping bags at Woolworths. Right? I hope Woolworths isn't watching. But that's the problem. That's the problem we make all the time. And the opportunity in this business is to start thinking differently about wealth, about money, about investment, about debt. And the lesson in this is that there is so much value if you start looking at how you can leverage money instead of just spending it. Right? And remember, if we go back to the aspiration we have for people in this business, to get rid of your debt as quickly as possible. So I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to illustrate the point to you. If you take 2,500 Rand and you decide to pay it into your debt, so put more money into your debt every month. In this example, we've got a person with R1 million debt, a 1 million Rand bond with a bank for property that they're paying over 20 years, right? At Prime Plus 2, you're paying over 11,500 Rand a month to the bank for 20 years. Every single month, 240 payments of 11,500 Rand. And once you're done with that, you will now become a homeowner. But at the beginning of that bond period, you become a DuePoint wealth engineer. And 6 months later, after some success, you're earning 2,500 Rand. And you remember Rob's words, don't go out and buy something, put the money into your debt. You decide to put the 2,500 Rand into your bond as an additional payment. It'll reduce the bond term from 20 years down to 11.5 years, and it'll save you nearly 1 million Rand in repayments you would have made to the bank. So the quick calculation you make is, well, I'm putting in 20% into my bond, but I'm reducing my bond by nearly 50%. Do you know how much you pay back a bank typically on a 20-year bond? 1.5 times the value of the asset. So if you had not put the money in, the extra money into the bank, you would have ended up paying the bank 2.5 million Rand for a 1 million Rand asset. Get rid of the debt as quickly as possible, right? At month 12, you're earning in excess of 100,000 Rand in recurring income. Who would like a 100,000 Rand check every year? December, Christmas present to yourself, 100,000. You don't even have to share it with your family. You must share it with the family. At month 24, you are now close to 30,000 Rand a month in recurring income. That jumped quickly, didn't it? Right? Because the business takes advantage of exponential growth. You're not growing the business on your own. You are depending on your channel to grow with you. And it goes back to my point. Make sure you bring good people onto your first point, right? Because you want to maximize that benefit as much as possible. At month 36, you're earning nearly 50,000 Rand a month. Now, I know the number's going to start losing people. You're thinking, oh, no, the number's getting too big. At month 48, we are close to 70,000 Rand a month. Got wealth engineers that have got there and beyond already. At 60 months, R1 million in annual recurring income. Imagine picking up a R1 million check every year from DuePoint. Think about how that changes your life. I'm sure your life's changed before this point, right? But this is only academic. It's a theory, right? It's number theory that we've put up on this growth model, bringing in 2 people every single month. But we track businesses, so real businesses, not theoretical, real businesses, and we can see that the numbers are correct. But there are very few wealth engineers that consistently put people in every single month. People get tired after 1 or 2 months. Many people, we've got wealth engineers that join, they don't even do a single thing. Some people do less than 2, some people do 2, some people do more than 2. And every month, we will invite wealth engineers onto our stage to tell people of their experience, right? So we're going to take a look at a few of them. Yes, Tanashi, she joined 12 months ago. The value of her channel sitting at 5,000 Rand a month. So you'd say, okay, she's doing half of 3 plus 2. Remember? 3 plus 2 should have had you at 9,000 a month. Tanashi's at 5,000 Rand a month. But if you go listen to her testimony, she said, I only put 4 months of effort into the business. I was distracted doing other things. She's quite entrepreneurial. She's trying to start other businesses, right? So 4 months got her to over 5,000 Rand a month. Look at her first pointers. The number at the bottom, number 13. That's the amount of people that she's put in. If you're doing 3 plus 2, you should be sitting at how much? 25 people after a year. She's done half. She's earning half. But her channel today is now growing by 40 products a month on its own. That's the leverage, because her channel size is sitting at 203 products in her channel, right? Those are people potentially working, helping you build your channel. Yes, Kwena joined 5 months ago. Wow, 6,000 Rand already. After 6 months, you were only supposed to be at 2,500 Rand a month. She's done more. Why has she done more? Look how many people she's put in the space of 5 months. You don't have to do 2 people a month. You can do 10 a month. You can do 20 people a month. Guess who makes that decision? Not me. You get to make that decision, right? I don't dictate to you how fast or slow you can grow in this business. That is up to you. Then we've got Mavuma, who's been in the business for 18 months. The value of his channel sitting at nearly 15,000 Rand a month. We've paid him already nearly 140,000 Rand in the last 18 months. That's the check he's picked up from DuePoint, right? I'm sure his wife loves him more because of it. But look at the personal work he's done. He's put in 18 people into the business. But his channel is sitting at nearly 1,000 products based on the 18 people that he put in. If you go speak to him, I always moan at him. Say, Mavumi, you can do more. Put in more. And he goes, no, I only put in the best quality. So it takes longer to find people that he wants to put into his business, right? It is up to you. Everybody is different. We've got thousands of people joining this business every single month. Everyone is different. All got different excuses, different motivation, different circumstances. Decide what you want out of the business. Don't look at those people. Look at me. Don't look at other people. It's not going to make a difference to your life. Look at me. What do you want from this business? I've laid it on the table. All you have to do is get up and come decide what you want from the table. Do you want 10,000 Rand a month, 20,000 Rand a month, 30,000 Rand a month? Because that's going to dictate how hard you have to work every month. It's not as simple as just going, oh, I want 10,000 Rand a month. Everybody wants. I can say, who wants to be a millionaire within 5 years? Right? Me times 3. That's not the question. That's not a question I'm interested in asking. My question is, who can fit DuePoint into their life from this afternoon? Can you sacrifice relaxing time, time with your family, time watching TV, time watching sports? Can you sacrifice that to do this business called DuePoint so that you can become a millionaire in 5 years' time? Is it worth it? That's the question I'm interested in. because I know everyone's got the opportunity. You can come with any excuse. Come speak to me afterwards if you've got excuses why you can't do the business. I've heard every single excuse, and I've got an answer for every single excuse. Right? Decide what you want out of this business. Let your imagination run wild, because everything starts with belief. Change in circumstance starts with belief. Getting started, very straightforward. Jump onto our website. You click on the apply button, you're a wealth engineer in 7 minutes. Do it on the mobile app with the person that brought you here. They'll show you how to join. It is quick. It is a non-event, becoming a wealth engineer. It is a non-event. You have to start applying yourself to this business. Read our code of conduct. Complete the online training. There's lots of training. Remember, I said our focus here, staff of DuePoint, is to understand how we can support people in this business. And one of those things is the training that we've done, right? Set goals for yourself. Probably the most underestimated function in life. In life, people don't set goals. People wander through life, right? Wait for opportunities, get what comes to me. Set a goal for yourself. It is the only way you can prepare a plan to get to what you want. You want to be a millionaire in 5 years' time? You need to be adding 2 people to this business every single month for 60 months. No interruption. No interruption. I can tell you what you need to do. Tell me what you want, I'll tell you what you need to do. Start talking to people. Right? So once you've got the plan, it always comes back to the same fact. The fundamental in this business. Who are you connecting to this business? Who are you speaking to? You only have to speak to somebody. Opportunity to earn extra income is probably the #1 commodity that exists in South Africa today. Nothing else is more attractive. And all you have to do is connect people to DuePoint. And myself and Brendan will do the rest of the work. We'll tell the people about the business, where we're from, Constantia, the products, how you earn. We'll do all of that for you. Just bring them to me. I can't do that part. You have to do that part in connecting people. Get merchandise. This empowers you to build your channel, because business is about credibility. Did you know that? For anyone to decide to do anything with regards to the proposition you're putting on the table, there has to be trust. No one will do anything you're trying to convince them of without trust. And the merchandise plays a role in that. It is about trust. When you put a DuePoint business card on the table, your credibility goes up. When you have a DuePoint notepad, a DuePoint pen, they go, this guy takes the business seriously. This person believes in this business. I trust him more about what he's telling me. If you arrive with nothing, you tear a piece of paper with your name and number on it, you're dead in the water. Get the merchandise. Please get the business cards. Right? Not enough people ordering business cards. Facebook, join our Facebook page. We produce content every day. If you want your finger on the pulse here at DuePoint, the Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It tells you every time the camera gets turned on to broadcast. 6 days a week, we do live presentations to the entire country. That is opportunity daily to build a channel, not only in Joburg, but any town in South Africa. Download our mobile app for Android and Apple devices only. That app tells you in real time whether you're making money while you're sleeping. That's what you want to do, right? You want to wake up in the morning and go, wow, 3 people joined my channel last night. I don't even know who they are. The app will tell you, 1 on point 2, 1 on point 3, 1 on point 5. See your return going up every single day. The app will tell you that. We've got a development seminar, so a training seminar tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. It is the first dev seminar of this kind of on this topic that we've done in 2.5 years. So we're actually very excited about giving it. Brendan's going to be giving it. It's probably more appropriate for him to be giving it than for me, because he's the accountant. He's probably started a few more businesses than I have, and he deals with wealth and entrepreneurship all the time. So it's called Wealth Creation 101. He is going to be discussing some very basic but fundamental topics around creating wealth. Right? And this is what the business is about. We've designed the tool set for you, but this will allow you to appreciate why certain characteristics of DuePoint are so valuable in terms of creating wealth. And we're not only going to discuss DuePoint. Brendan will go into all the other income earning opportunities that exist in South Africa. And he will show you pros and cons of each one. At the end of the presentation, you should be able to make a decision and go, right, this is probably where I should be focused. And this is empowering for you when you speak to other people, because people will come and tell you all kinds of excuses and stories, and you can go, no, my friend, you are wrong. Here's the data on why a business like this is probably geared to be better opportunity for you rather than something else. So make sure you tune into this. You don't have to be here, so come to head office by all means if you have the opportunity. You can watch it online. It'll be live on YouTube, and the training will be up on YouTube permanently on Saturday morning onwards. Okay, so make sure that you're aware of that and that your channel's aware of it. Quickly onto our rewards program. So the rewards program here at DuePoint is the cherry on top. If you are creating a monthly return here at DuePoint, there are some other little surprises waiting for you. We call it our rewards program. Basically how it works is, as wealth engineers, you will be collecting what we call experience points all the time. So you come to a presentation like this, you get experience points. If you bring guests, you get even more experience points. If you do home presentations, you get experience points. It's called XP. If you log into your mobile app, you get XP. So there's plenty. All these little things floating past here earn you XP. And as you start collecting more XP and your channel is growing in size, you get to rank up in the rewards program. So at rank 1, you need 1,000 XP, you need 4 products in your qualified channel, you become a rank 1 wealth engineer, and you get an extra 55 Rand at the end of the month, plus that 220 Rand that you'll be earning at least as a return. And then as you start collecting more XP and your channel starts to grow, you rank up and the rewards get bigger and bigger and better as you progress. There's 20,000 Rand check waiting for you, a 50,000 Rand check waiting for you. We give tools to our wealth engineers that empower them in building their channels more effectively, right? So fancy little USB drives that we have. We've got premium business cards. Again, these speak to the credibility and the trust that you want to have when you engage with people. You put down a 12,500 Rand business card, I promise you your credibility goes through the roof, right? At rank 9, we have our first recurring reward, and that is our rank 9 international conference that we have. So we send a black Mercedes-Benz to come pick you and your spouse and your kids up at your house, right? We take you to the airport, the business class lounge. I say to everyone, eat all the food in the business class lounge. They must know that DuePoint was there. And then we go from the business class lounge to business class on the international flight. And you sit in business class, you get offered champagne, even the kids get offered champagne. The poor people go past you so they can see you. They go past you to economy class. That's why they let economy class go past the business class people, so that we can feel better about ourselves, right? And then we fly to our international destination. It's 7 days away, a 5-star luxury resort. And the point of this rank 9 trip is that you get to experience what it feels like to be really wealthy. Right? I'm not being facetious, because what it does, perhaps not as much as what it does for our children get to see the potential that they have in themselves. We've got all these excuses bubbling in our heads why we can't there. This trip, you're living like a millionaire for a week. You will get there with DuePoint, but at rank 9, you get to have a taste of it every single year for the rest of your life. Because at rank 9, this happens every year. So take a look, because we've documented the last trip. I want you to imagine your toes in the sand. I know it's cold in Joburg. Try imagine warm sand.
Gone and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sun where no one can see. You stand, don't let the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
You're not there yet. Not there yet. We have to work hard to get to this point, right? 2, 3, 4 years maybe of 2 people every month before you can get there. If you want to get there faster, bring 5, 6, 7 people a month. You can get there faster. We had one individual, he got there in 5 months, right? Everybody is different, but it requires a plan. At rank 11, we spend R250,000 on a brand new car and give it to our wealth engineer. Who would like a brand new car, paid off cash, in your name? You didn't spend a cent on it. That's at rank 11. That's already happened for wealth engineers here at DuePoint within 2 years. Guys, it is up to you to decide what you want out of this business. It is on the table for everybody. We don't give anyone preferential treatment. Everyone's the same. I don't know the thousands of people joining every month. I only see them when they reach the top of my report. I say, geez, look at this person. They put 10, 20 people in this month. Who is this person? Are you going to be one of those people? Are you part of the 20% that make it happen? Unfortunately, the other 80% generally don't in life, right? So who's the 20%? I look around the room and I wonder who's already decided. This afternoon, I'm phoning a couple of people. My Saturdays are no longer for TV and sports. They're now for DuePoint. Who's ready to make that commitment and that sacrifice? Because wealth requires sacrifice. There is no way around it. And so I invite you guys to consider joining us here at DuePoint with all the support in the world. We want to see you effective, profitable, and happy. That's what we want to see happen in this business. And so we have to decide what are we going to be doing for the rest of the year. For the skeptics, I'm always happy to propose to the skeptics here, because there might be a couple of skeptics. I'm a natural skeptic. I don't believe anyone in marketing or advertising. Give me 30 days. You don't have to, you can cancel this business and the product at any time. At any time. Give me 30 days, but I want 30 days. And if you can speak to one person, whether they say yes or no to you, you can speak to one person every day for 30 days. I promise you, you won't leave after the 30th day. Because I guarantee you'll be richer next month than you were last month. And that's what our business is about. Incremental changes, slowly, 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 increasing your wealth every single month to the point where you look 5 years back and you say, thank goodness that person invited me to a DuePoint presentation. And that's what I invite you to do. If you have any questions, come speak to me. Otherwise, have a prosperous year. Right? No one be happy. Don't be happy. You should all be grumpy because you're not millionaires yet, right? Go do it. Good luck.